Welcome to the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio from Boise, Idaho. This is your host, Adam Graham. In a moment, we're going to bring you this week's episode of Mr. and Mrs. North. If you are enjoying the podcast, please follow us using your favorite podcast software. Now, if you've not already, I do want to encourage you to check out my ebooks, All I Needed to Know, I Learned from Columbo, and All I Needed to Know, I Learned from Dragnet. Each examine the careers and history of 7 great fictional detectives and policemen and life lessons that can be learned from them. They are available as ebooks or as audiobooks through audible.com or the Apple Store. I have to offer a brief preamble on this episode because we've kind of gone through a bit of a journey to get here. This episode is listed on many old-time radio sites, but in many cases the episode file is incorrect. So that we're going to play next week, actually listed as this week's episode, although that episode doesn't fit this week's title at all. How well this week's episode fits the title, I guess, is a matter for debate. I'll also say that this is not in as nice a shape as many of the episodes that we played, but it's still listenable, and it's the correct file. So from April 12th, 1944, here now is The Little Man Who Wasn't There.
Good evening. This is Peter Lawrence. Have you become bored with crimes of passion? Does the unhealthy atmosphere of doom give you strangely discontented? Or you still appreciate a manly touch? It doesn't have to be so dismal. If that is the case, my friends, listen tonight to the Mystery Playhouse. Say, I know a young couple, an extremely normal and happy pair. Two parents have nothing better to do than to become endlessly involved with murder and the like. They seem to flit from crime to crime with a happy and preoccupied abandon of children unaffected, gaily rubbing elbows with a grim reaper and probably exclaiming when someone remonstrates with them, "Well, isn't everybody?" So tonight, adding an ingenious domestic touch to the usual mystery playhouse tale, we acquaint you, or reacquaint you, as the case may be, with Mr. and Mrs. North. Remember? Well, we come upon them, or rather Mr., as he's about to answer the phone. A routine he's evidently been through many times lately.
Hello? No, I'm not Pamela North. He hung up, as usual. Maybe I better practice up on my falsetto. In a hurry this time. Hello? I am not... Yes. Oh, the door. Maybe he didn't believe me. No, I'm not Pamela North.
Well, of course not. I am.
Hello, Pam.
Oh, I'm glad to be home, darling.
Wasn't the reunion fun?
It was awful. Everybody sat around noticing how much older everybody else looked.
Postmortems, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Darling, is there a man in your life?
Of course, dear. You.
There must be somebody else. Because I'm pretty sure I haven't been calling myself up and asking me if I weren't Pamela North.
Darling, you're not well.
I'm in perfect health. Listen, some goon has been phoning every hour and asking for you. As soon as I convince him that I'm not you, he hangs up.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, it's reasonable enough,
I
but...
wonder if it has anything to do with the little man.
What's the little man?
The one who followed me home.
Maybe I should have asked you about the men in your life.
Certainly, darling. The street was so dark and he was so gray, sort of, and indistinct. I ran.
Did he run after you?
I don't know.
I would have.
We did.
But you slowed up for me.
No.
You answer it. I wouldn't want to disappoint him again.
All right, darling. Hello? Yes, this is Pamela North. Hello? Yes.
I know, he hung up. Probably thinks it's good, clean fun.
You know, darling, I am getting scared.
Nothing to get scared about. You're beautiful and... Neighbor, the window.
All right, darling. Wait.
Is that your little man coming down the street?
Yes, sir. He's looking up at the house numbers. I thought he was only a nasty little old man, but...
Come away from the window.
What are you going to do?
Call the police.
Oh, I may just be imagining things. Yes. My imagination can't be that vivid.
Maybe in a car backfiring.
I know those were shots.
I'll take a look.
Jerry, don't you go near that window.
Relax, darling. No one's a TV up here.
What is? The little man?
He's gone, too. Maybe that was a car backfiring. At any rate, most people would think so.
Darling, we've heard guns being fired too often.
Well, whoever fired those shots isn't there anymore. Neither is your little man. I sort of suspect he's disappeared from our lives. I hope.
That is our doorbell.
Uh-huh.
Let's make believe we're not home, Jerry.
It might be important.
That's what I mean.
I'd better see who that is. It's silly being terrified by nothing, Pam.
Hey, you can answer the door if you wish, darling, but I'm going to keep right on being terrified.
Well, if you insist.
Oh, no. No, I'm going with you. I want to be terrified in company.
All right, but get over to one side. I'm going to open the door.
All right, darling. It's the little man.
So it is. Won't you come in, please? Thank you. Shut the door, darling.
Uh-huh.
You come on, North.
Yes, I am. Jerry, he's ill.
Not ill. Please, let him speak. They will kill you, Pamela. You need a doctor. You better not bring yourself by speaking. Must speak. Don't need doctor. Must speak. I heard them red line bar. Kill Pamela North. That.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna that suddenly. Hot for I'll lay him down here on the sofa. Get his coat open.
Will I phone for a doctor, darling?
No. There's nothing a doctor can do for him.
Yes?
Chest full of bullets. Yes, he's dead.
Oh, poor little man. But who...
He came here to warn you against a murderer, darling. But the murderer got to him first.
All right. Get the stiff out here, boys. Well, Mr. and Mrs. North, you have made your contribution to the city mortgage aid.
I wish we knew whom we contributed.
No identification on him. Just a tramp.
Sergeant Mullins. He was killed because he wanted to warn me. And I ran away from him.
Easy, darling. You couldn't have known that.
But who would want to kill you, Mrs. North?
I don't know. Jerry and I have helped catch a few criminals.
I don't think it's that. Otherwise, they would have been gunning after both of us. The little man said the plans were to kill Pamela. And the man who kept phoning asked for Pamela North.
Wanted to make sure she was here, and then he was going to come around and...
ran into the little man. He must have recognized him.
Shot him. But the little man remained alive long enough to... To what?
He didn't mention no name.
No, Mullins, no name.
That's too bad. And what do you got in the house?
Well, that's not much use. Pam and I can't live indefinitely under police protection.
Well, what are you figuring on doing?
Remember what somebody said once, the best defense is a good attack? Well, that's what we're going to do.
Oh.
Pam and I are going to have a drink.
This ain't no time for light refreshment.
At the Red Line Bar.
Oh, stop that silk jock. Oh, pipe down, lad. I want to know who stopped that jock. Stop that noise and depart. Your language. What's your language, partner? There's a berth in the gutter waiting for you. Go fill it. Unhand me a big bucket. Come on,
Jerry, this isn't getting us anywhere.
It's lots of good, clean fun, though.
In a raucous sort of way. There he goes.
There he went. Well, nobody seems to have noticed it.
Somebody has just noticed me, darling.
That drunk, he's in again. Well, the guy's a virtuoso.
Lady, are them whistles vice racy?
I beg your pardon, bartender?
Are you considering swapping partners?
Oh, no. No, I like this one.
Then I'll throw that bum out again.
Don't bother. We're leaving. Come on, Sam.
All right, Jerry.
The decorations may not be so nice, but you do meet such lovely people at the Red Line Bar.
We must invite them to a nightmare sometime.
I'd rather give up sleeping. The door, my lady.
Sir? Oh, yes. Good to breathe air again.
The atmosphere in that joint should be bottled and sent to Hitler.
Oh, darling. Our idea wasn't so good, was it?
Just a second, darling.
All right, too late.
There. All right, now. What did you say?
Our idea wasn't so good. Coming to the Red Line Bar, I mean.
I'm not so sure of that. If you have company. Don't stop and then look back. We're being followed.
But maybe
Too many cars and people around. You'll wait.
I don't doubt it, darling. We have to...
Uh-huh. We'll sit at this corner. There. Now, quick. Back into that doorway. Our friend should be coming around the corner in a minute. Uh-huh. There he comes now. And when he passes... Yes.
No, let go. You were looking for us, weren't you? Yeah.
Jerry, it's the drum.
Oh, that beautiful lady. It's no good, pal. You were walking a very straight line sailing it. You see, I saw you. So what? I don't like being followed. Not unless there's a good reason. What's yours?
I was taking a walk. It ain't unconstitutional, is it?
Oh, I see. Pam, do you remember anything in the Constitution about taking a stock at any?
I don't think so.
Good. Then I should be able to go ahead with a clear constitution, so to speak.
Hey, wait a minute. What are you doing this show?
Beat the living daylights out of you, do you mind?
Do I mind yet? You ain't got a right.
I'm bigger than you are. So
Don't get reckless. You can keep my coat.
Jerry, he got away.
Oh, darling, I let him get away. Because I want to find out where he's going.
Very clever of you, darling, to have a taxi waiting outside the bar for us.
I thought we might need one in a hurry, so I gave Mahatma his instructions. Right, Mahatma?
Right, wrong. It's all a question of history, Mr. North.
Better keep your eyes on that car we're following, or your history will come to a sudden close.
Maybe I would be happier. Maybe that is the best thing. As I sit here listening to the quiet ticking of the meter, I say to myself, Mahatma, whither art thou blowing? Don't look now, Mr. North, but if we keep on driving in the same direction any longer, we are all going to be swimming.
Jerry, isn't that the Atlantic Ocean?
Sorry, I'm afraid it's only Long Island town. Careful, Mahatma, he's turning off the road.
I better stop.
There's a gate up ahead, darling, in this wall to our left.
Uh-huh. Must be an estate. There he goes. Through the gate.
Gate swung to behind him.
Let's take a look up close. It's a nice night.
Cold. Jerry.
Is that a horse or a dog? On the other side of the gate, thank heaven.
Darling, we're not going in.
It is too late to visit. That's the mailbox on the side of the road. At least we'll find out who owns the joint. Let's see. Uh-huh. Douglas Grant.
Douglas Grant. Jerry, I know who he is.
Name seems familiar to me, too, but I'll get back to the car and away from here. I don't want that dog to around anyone to see.
All right, Jerry. No, I can't understand why Douglas Grant would want to kill me, darling.
There's no real indication that he does.
All I did was witness his marriage to Joan. It was an elopement, Jerry, and terribly romantic. Even though Douglas was suspected of being a racketeer.
Wait a minute. I remember now. Grant's name was in the papers. He's going to marry that hardware heiress, Barbara Selden. Their engagement's been announced,
Oh,
and...
but he can't do that, darling. He's married to Joan.
Who knew about that marriage besides you?
It's Timmy Jones. He was the other witness. But, he died shortly afterwards. So, I guess I'm the only one who knows. Outside of Joan, of course.
Uh-huh. Darling, were you fond of Joan?
She was a very good friend of mine before I married you. Why, dear?
Because I've an idea that Joan is among the missing. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Thomas. We ain't found no trace of her.
I didn't think you would. Thanks anyway, Mullins. So long. No record of her, Pam. No record of any divorce. No record of her death.
Douglas Grant is planning to marry again. Jerry, he must be sure that she's going to listen.
Very sure. And there's only one way he could be sure. Come on, darling. We're going back to Long Island.
This section of the country, please, Mr. North.
It's all right. Ham, have you got the liver?
Pounds of it. We would have a great game. It took every ration point I had.
Never mind. We'll eat spinach.
Here's the joint again.
Pam, you stay with Mahatma. I'm just going to take a look around. Let me have a look.
Sure, darling. But are you sure it's safe?
I'm not going to interview Mr. Grant. Not just yet.
Mrs. North, suppose that dog don't like liver.
Mahatma, Jerry's been gone an awful long time. I'm scared.
Speaking philosophically, so am I.
What kind of philosophy is that?
I will explain to you some other time when my teeth ain't rattling. What's that? Ham?
Oh, darling, I was so...
Relax, sweetheart. The worst is yet to come.
That's where the Mahatma goes. Goodbye.
Wait a minute, Mahatma.
Did you find anything, Jerry?
A smear of cement under the floorboard of Mr. Grant's motorboat.
Really?
I didn't go near the house. Grant and his little friend are at home. But I did go to the boathouse. I found a motorboat and a rowboat. We can't use the motorboat, but I pushed the rowboat along shore. We can reconstruct it.
If we want to.
Oh, but we do want to. Aren't you forgetting that smear of cement?
Oh, yeah, the cement. The only thing is, what about it?
Pam, you and Mahatma will have to come with me. I'll need a little help.
Darling, what are we going to do?
Oh, didn't you know? We're going rowing.
One more shove, Mahatma, and we'll have this thing afloat. One more shove, and a Mahatma will be flat on its tip.
Never say die. Come on. There. That's floating.
For how long?
No kibitzing. All aboard.
Darling, you know I love to go boating. But at midnight,
It's a very fine boat. Columbus crossed the ocean in a boat like this.
I'm not Columbus.
Neither am I, but I want to go fishing.
You ain't got no fishing rod.
I'm not fishing for fish. I'm fishing for evidence.
In Long Island Sound?
Remember that cement.
You should let me forget it.
What's one other thing, darling? Grant is planning to marry again for money. He wouldn't risk bigamy. That's why I spent half the day going over those charts of the Sound. I had a hunch, and the cement confirmed it. Get in, Tam.
Easy now.
There. How is it?
Yeah.
Climb in, Mahatma.
Okay, but my philosophy don't approve.
Wait for baby. There, we're all aboard.
Jerry, darling, you know how big Long Island Sound is.
Roughly. Why?
And you expect to find anything beneath it?
It's easier than that, darling. Grant wouldn't have dared cart his evidence around too long. He would have picked the nearest and deepest spot. That's where we're going. Grab an oar, Mahatma.
Should have stuck to my cab. Okay.
Then, stroke.
Golly, it's dark out here in the water. Clouds over the moon.
Just as well. I don't want Grant to forget.
Dark. Cold. Jerry, I'm shivering.
You want to row?
I'm not that cold.
Mr. North, maybe you rode for Harvard. Me, all I ever did in this line was row a babe around Central Park. I'm on a verge of collapse.
Take it easy, Mahatma. We're just about where we should be. That big locust tree lined up with the lighthouse there. Triangulated with... Pull your oar in, Mahatma.
If I got this straight.
You like this spot, darling?
The water is deepest here.
There must be other deep spots in the Sound.
But none right off Mr. Grant's estate. Excuse me while I stand up.
Don't ask me, ask the boat.
Why it don't capsize, I will never run. Hey, Mr. North.
Yeah?
You were taking off your clothes.
That's right.
Oh, that's quite all right, Mahatma. Jerry always takes off his clothes when he gets into a rowboat. Something that happened in his childhood, no doubt.
There. You like my shorts, Mahatma? Well, here goes.
Jerry, where are you going?
Swimming. So long.
He went over.
He went under.
He'll be up. Look.
Look, the moon is coming out. Ain't it a beautiful sight?
Jerry, coming up out of that water would be even more beautiful. Oh, I wish... Jerry,
Hello, Dolly. The water's fine.
you come right out of Long Island Sound.
I'm going down again.
I married a madman.
Mrs. North, there is always a reason for everything. For example, oysters is now in season. Maybe Mr. North is picking his own.
If he is, I'll serve him to them.
Don't look now, but he's surfaced again.
Sit tight while I climb in. Oh, that's better.
You have a nice swim, darling?
Wonderful. I found what I was looking for. See?
What is it? Looks like a piece of silk that might have been ripped off a dress.
It was ripped off a dress. I ripped it off.
A dress. Under there.
Yes, darling. And Joan Grant is inside that dress.
Boy, am I glad to be out of that boat.
So am I. Oh, Jerry, that's dreadful.
Not pleasant. We left our taxi so far away. It's Grant's spotted us in that moonlight.
Jerry Grant killed her, didn't he?
Uh-huh. I suspected that when I saw the cement in his boat. It's a common practice of gangsters to get rid of a corpse permanently by encasing its feet in a solid block of cement and dumping it into a river or...
Or the sound. Oh, Jerry. Joan was such a lovely, gentle girl.
Oh, now, Pam. At any rate, I rather think Grant's gig is up.
You're being a little hasty, aren't you?
Douglas Grant.
Evening, Blake? No. Be careful. I have a gun. And so has my, associate. Peter?
Yeah?
Grissom, the drunk.
Hiya, pal. Keep the mitts up.
The, moonlight. Betrayed you, Mr., Oh, Pamela, won't you introduce us?
Jerry's my husband. Gerald North.
Oh. Well, congratulations, Mr. North. You make a very handsome couple. Too bad, isn't it, that your marriage no longer has any future?
Too bad you found the body, North. Because I think the boss is out mixing a lot of cement for the three of you.
Help him kill his wife, Pete?
Nah. I was passing a little time in the state pen at that moment.
Then why get involved in a murder rap now?
You want to tell me a boogie story?
No. Pete, you know who we are?
Yeah, amateur dicks.
We work with the police.
So what?
They've got a detective tailing us ever since this case began.
That's a lie. I was tailing you myself the night after the bum got his. There was nobody else on you.
Are you sure?
Where are they?
They'll be here. They may be too late to save us, but they'll get you.
Forget it.
Mr. North, maybe I could jump him. Even if I stopped at you, you might be
He's
able
got a Tommy gun, Mahatma. He's also getting ready for the electric.
Look, mister. You're talking through your hat.
Don't forget, Pete, no matter how much money you squeeze out of Grant, it won't do you any good where you're going.
Cut that talk out.
I'm sorry for you. You've been suckered, Pete. Suckered good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Where's Grant?
I told you he's out fixing.
You mean that's what he told you? Maybe he's leaving you here holding the bag.
They can't pin his wife killing on me. I was in the pen.
How about the other murder?
You think Grant's gonna... no.
Why not? If we die, he's clear on his wife's murder. Then he throws you to the cops.
Yeah? Then I'd talk. I'd tell him.
What would you tell them, Pete?
He's gonna shoot.
Oh, no, he won't. I'll give it to him. No, you blinking fool! Oh. Yeah. Ha! He's dead, the dirty murderer. I did it with my little Tommy gun.
Let me take a look. Good for you, Pete.
Thanks.
There's something else you may want to thank me for.
Mr. North, that was a blow of true magnificence.
I had to do it. He's a killer.
You mean Grant? Well, for killing that rat, he deserves a medal.
I didn't mean Grant.
But he couldn't have killed Joan.
I didn't mean Joan either, darling.
Oh, the little man.
Pardon me, folks, while I massage him once more. He will now remain unconscious a while longer.
Nice going, Mahatma.
Jerry, I knew you were working on Pete psychologically. That's why I screamed that against you.
You did it very well, darling.
But how do we know Pete killed the little man?
Well, for one thing, because we know Grant didn't.
We do.
Of course. Grant called you by your maiden name, Pamela Blake. He didn't know you were married. Therefore, he couldn't have been the one who came to our house and killed the little man there when he recognized him as the man he'd seen in the bar.
Yes, so. And besides, the little man said that the plan was to kill Pamela North. But Grant didn't know that. He thought I was still Pamela Blake, which is the name he must have told Pete when he hired Pete to kill me. Pete must have checked and found out I was married. And so the little man overheard him say Pamela North.
Right, darling. Plus one other thing. We hadn't said anything about any other murder. Yet Pete said he's been trailing us since the bum got his, remember?
Uh-huh.
And do you know why the little man rushed to warn us? His name was Franklin.
Franklin? Joan's father.
Oh?
Oh, darling, you're very bright.
Oh, don't be silly. I'm just inspired.
Like how?
Well, like this.
You again? Where is that ring? Now, will you be quiet?
Kiss me again, Harry.
All right.
Hey, what's going on in the back of the cab? Uh-oh. Kissing game. Speaking philosophically, I bet it's fun.
Love. It's wonderful. Just get those two a good murder and leave the moon for more ordinary lovers. Well, Mr. and Mrs. North, thank you, and may your wedded bliss continue, may blossom as crime marches on. And now, to the green room, the late sonic performance in a mystery playhouse. Come with me, please. Come. Come.
Why can't I go, Ella? Oh, my dear child, you're much too young to handle business matters. Oh, I was 67 last month. You're still my baby sister. I have qualms every time I send you around the corner to the store. You could hardly expect me to send you on an errand like this. Well, listen to me for a minute. Yes, I want you to wait here in the house for me until I return. Yes, of course. You'll not to answer the doorbell if it rings. I understand. I shall bring the free duck with me. All right. I never intended to break my vow and leave this house. But for your sake and mine, I must. Why? There's some important reason why we've not received our allowance. I'm going to see Mr. Douglas and find out. Mr. Douglas?
Yes?
I came here to your home for only one reason. Our allowance.
Well,
My sister and I have not received any money from you in the past 4 weeks.
I know that, Miss Crawford.
Well?
I've been meaning to drop around and go over the entire matter with you.
What do you mean?
Well, I have some rather shocking news for you.
What is it?
You haven't any more money.
You mean it's gone? All of it?
Yes. I regret to say it.
I don't understand.
You and your sister are receiving a weekly income from the interest and securities that are left you both.
I know.
As the administrator of the estate, I have handled these securities to the best of my ability.
Yes?
Unfortunately, the companies that you held stock in were non-offensive industries. The curtailments of war wiped them out.
Mr. Douglas, I don't believe you.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, Miss Crawford, but it's true.
I think you have been dishonest with it.
Oh, now, just a minute, please.
And in view of that, you leave me very little choice.
What do you mean?
When I leave here, I shall go to the police
Well, what for?
to have you arrested for stealing our money. It was too large a sum to just dissolve in the manner you described. Why did you lock that door?
I've been hoping you'd come here. That's why I stopped sending you the money.
Are you trying to frighten me?
No. I'm merely going to tell you.
You're joking.
You think so?
Keep away from me. Keep away. Keep away.
Hey, that doesn't sound too good for that poor old lady, does it? I'm afraid that Mr. Douglas knows what he said, aren't you? Well, try to be misused next time for the rest of his exciting story of another case from the files of Mr. District Attorney. This is Peter Lawrence closing the door of the Mystery Playhouse. Good night. Sleep tight. This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Welcome back. Nice to hear Peter Lorre on the host segment, even though the sound quality is a little less distinct. This is an episode that definitely leaned into the comedy aspect more than the mystery, because the one thing I remember from this episode, having listened to it before, was Mahatma the philosophical cabbie. Still, in terms of what mystery there is, it is pretty well reasoned out by Jerry in terms of the solution. Now, it's worth sharing a little bit of the details of the journey I had trying to find the correct episode here, because this is actually mislabeled in some surprising ways. Some sites actually title this Douglas Grant Gangster, which talk about a spoiler. Thankfully, again, the Radio Gold Index was able to provide me the correct episode title that was being re-aired by Mystery Playhouse. Also found some sites dating this as 1946. However, it's clear from the reference to sending dangerous things to Hitler that Hitler was very much alive at the time the episode released. Alright, well, listener comments and feedback now. And over on YouTube regarding the missing sparkler, Terry writes, simply much enjoyed, thank you. Well, thank you, Terry. And now it is time to thank our Patreon supporter of the day. And I want to thank Ben. Ben's been one of our Patreon supporters since September 2020, currently supporting the podcast at the Shamus level of $4 more per month. Thank you so much for your support, Ben. And that will do it for today. If you're enjoying the podcast, please follow us using your favorite podcast software. And if you're enjoying the podcast on YouTube, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and mark the notification bell. We'll be back next Thursday with another episode of Mr. and Mrs. North, but join us back here tomorrow for yours truly, Johnny Dollar, where...
Troubles. Well, now, look, Dollar. You think there was anything wrong with that fire, you prove it, I'll give you this whole business. What do you think I am, a crook?
I haven't said that yet.
Then what's the idea of investigating?
Not you, but that fire. We always investigate when a claim this large is involved.
Oh, yeah?
Do it automatically.
Look, I'm trying to run an honest business here, just barely scraping by. That phone call just now. A customer ain't 100% satisfied, we make her satisfied.
Oh, sure. To keep her from blabbing about the way you rooked her.
Oh, look, get out of here, would you? Can't you see I'm busy? I try to run a decent business here, and punks like you come in and... Oh, if I'm... Yeah, hold on. Look, you got some legit reason to investigate, Dollar. You come around then.
Maybe I will.
Now go on, get out, will you?
Gladly.
I hope you'll be with us then. In the meantime, send your comments to box13@greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Detectives and check us out on Instagram. Instagram.com/Great Detectives. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.